It's not playing.
And there we go. It's working. We're live. Everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Pigsty. Woo! Tonight we are privileged, absolutely privileged, to have Eric Murphy. If you don't know who the hell he is, what stone have you been under? Eric, for the silly people, do you want to let them know who you are?
Hey everybody, yeah, sure. The silly people. So I'm one of the hosts of. Well, I'm the primary host of Talk Heathen. It's one of the shows that the atheist community of Austin puts on. If you haven't seen Talk Heathen, it's the younger sister show of the Atheist Experience. I also have my own private channel, youtube.com/Eric D. Murphy, where I have conversations, like actual conversations with actual Christian apologists. Sometimes it can get rough, but I kind of want to show that it can be done. I also put up other private things, like speeches and all of that. I've got a podcast that I'm going to be relaunching that I have not announced anywhere except for here, actually. I have a podcast. It's called The Atheist Podcast.
That's actually quite funny because Digital Hammurabi announced that he was having a podcast on here exclusively as well.
Oh yeah, nice.
Sorry, go on ahead.
So I'm going to be putting out those podcasts again, which I'm really, really excited about. Let's see, anything else? I do debates, I do speeches. That's pretty much it.
You're an actual activist. You be out doing activities.
Yes, sir. Well, not right now.
No. Nobody's doing anything right now.
Yeah.
But we've got Eric. So thank you, man. I just wanted to say first and foremost, thank you very much for considering even coming on the show.
Dude.
We're just a wee tiny channel and we just talk shite here. That's basically what we do. But we're here to get to know you a wee bit better. And first question I usually start with is, how did you end up on the internet? What brought you to the internet?
Porn.
Well, putting your face on the internet, different question altogether. What brought you putting your face on the internet?
So I actually had an entirely different life. I used to live in California. I had a career. I was going to college to become a school psychologist. And then divorce happened, actually. I decided, you know what? I kind of want a fresh start at life. I want to try something new. And I picked up, and without job prospects, without friends, just moved to Texas, moved to Austin, where my favorite show, The Atheist Experience, was filmed. Became a crew member, and over time wound up becoming friends with a producer and audio engineer. And they said, hey, would you be up for, if you ever wanted to do a show? And we were off to the races. And I've been doing that ever since.
It must have been a massive thing, though. You said that all in the space of 3 minutes, and you basically give up 10 years of your life, moved to a completely different state with no friends, no prospects, no nothing. And as they did in, Monsters University, you started at the bottom.
I did. But I made some amazing friends. And, the interesting thing is, I really wanted to build community. I really wanted to expand that. And in doing so, they brought me with them. It's kind of been a group effort. And everywhere that I've gone, everything that I've gotten the opportunity to do is because of the support and care of those people. And it's fantastic. I can't even begin to describe to you what it's like it's weird, man. It's really weird. Like, imposter syndrome is totally a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have encountered that myself. People who pretend to be something to gain something, maybe, and then you find out that that's not exactly who they are.
Well, it kind of the other way around. I'm waiting for everybody to realize that I'm just some asshole and go get some actual people, some actual YouTubers to do my job.
I have to say though, like a lot of people will agree with this statement. We all probably do get dragged in by the Atheist Experience. That is the big name front runner of a show. We watch it, then you find out about the other wee shows and you filter down. Talk Heathen is the Atheist Experience, but nicer, and that it boils down to the hosts, who you are one of the main regular ones. Yeah, we all love Matt Dillahunty screaming and shouting and telling him to fuck off. It's wonderful. It's fun. It's enjoyable. But there,
Got me out here.
pardon?
It's what got me out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched Antangelo the day against T-Jump. You know your friend Antangelo?
Oh no.
You were very patient. Very, very patient.
You have no idea how many hours I spent talking to him off air. It was insane. And he genuinely just waited his turn to talk. He never listened.
Yeah. And there's no changing his mind.
No, well, actually, Altangelo told me you can change his mind. You have to bring him the bones of Christ. And only if you bring him the bones of Christ will he change his mind.
That's enough fucking crossed. Like, how about the pinky toe of Paul? I'm sure we could probably get hold of the pinky toe of Paul.
I don't know, brother. I don't know. He said bones of Christ, so
there's no bartering.
Nope. Bones of Christ or nothing. I don't know how you could prove it's the bones of Christ, but
that's the point I'm trying to make, man. You have an awful lot more patience, and when you come to Talk Heathen, it's not like the sweeter side of the ACA, because I've seen you get angry. I've seen you get annoyed. But it's more of a conversational style thing.
I try to. Yeah, for sure.
I definitely think you're achieving that.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I'm reading in the live chat while we're talking. And somebody said, Eric, quit touching your face. I'm at home. This is the home studio. This is my microphone. Nobody uses my microphone. I can touch things. But that's just because I'm at home. Yeah. If I was at the ACA studio, no. And I'm actually going to be remoting in to do Talk Heathen this weekend. So, but yeah, sorry, it's kind of got me.
It's what it has to be done at the minute. It is also the best thing to do at the minute. It's the only way to flatten the curve, keep it down. Like, I found out today that we have 70 cases in Northern Ireland. We have 82 ICU beds in all of Northern Ireland. So we're about to break capacity. Like.
Ooh, that's rough, brother.
Yeah, and everybody in the country there's a lot of people just ignoring it because it's like, it's fine. Everybody's got it, simple, it's grand. And then it's going to break capacity and they're not going to be able to cope. And all their grannies and grandads are going to start dying. And I tried to explain exponential rate to a guy today, and I was like, if there's a pool full of bacteria and it takes 60 days to fill the pool full with bacteria, at what day is it half? And he's like, 30 something, and I was like, no, 59. I was like, it doubles every day, and it's 60 full, it's 59. I was like, you don't realize for the first 50 days that there's something happening. And
by the time you realize, it's too late.
Yeah, time you realize too late. But we're gonna make this a Coven stream. This is a happy stream. This is an Eric stream. Eric's even brought out a wee bit of gin tonight, so we might get the lips loosened, and who knows what happens when Eric's lips get loose.
Honestly, I think that's why I'm so kind of floaty right now, is because you encouraged me to drink.
I knew you were going to do that. I made that very clear before we went on air. I says, I'm going to have a drink. You do what you want.
He twisted my arm and he forced me. And so I have a big thermos of ice cold gin, tonic water and lime, and I'm ready.
You say you went on to the Talk Heathen, man. You want to build communities. Do you remember your first episode of Talk Heathen?
Oh, God, don't remind. Oh, yeah, I do. Let's see.
It's like your first time you lost your virginity. You'll never forget. Was it as bad?
Oh, it was so much worse. It was so much. At least when I lost my virginity, I only disappointed one person. Yeah. No. Let's see. So when I Well, when we first started doing Talk Heathen, it was a joint effort between Jamie and I.
Did you go out to make that decision to create that show, or was that show approached to you?
Oh no, so it was originally going to be a podcast. And we were practicing for months in the studio whenever we got the chance. And eventually our audio engineer, Vern, kind of pulls us aside and goes, how come you don't do a call-in show? And we're like, well, why would we? There's already a call-in show. We'd be just ripping off the Atheist Experience. Why would we do that?
Yeah.
And he said, well, I'll tell you why. And he pulls us to the back and he shows us this this device. And he said, this device is the same device that's used in radio, actual, AM, FM broadcasts for call-in shows. And it costs like $7,000. The reason people don't have call-in shows and haven't in the past had call-in shows is because the upfront investment to be able to make that happen is really, really high.
So that's why you have so much shows. It's because the equipment costs so much.
It was a big influencer on why we wound up doing a call-in show. He said, if you're not utilizing this, you're an idiot. And so we're like, okay, we'll do a call-in show. And for a couple months ahead of time, we would post in the Facebook group. And I see some of the OGs in the chat here from way back in the day, actually, which is amazing. I'm so excited to see so many of you. We would post out on social media, hey, we're doing a practice show. We're getting training and this and that, and call at this time. You're not actually going to be on the Atheist Experience, but you're going to be helping us train. And so for months, we practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced. And by the time we went on air, we thought we had it down. Oh, we did not have it down, man. The very first episode, you had two things. We were both nervous as heck. And so Jamie was kind of afraid of empty space.
Sorry to interrupt, but there seems to be an echo. I've double checked everything on this end.
Oh yeah? Let me take a look here.
It sounds perfect here.
How about here?
Right, we'll just keep going and then they'll tell us if there's any difference. Sorry, go on ahead.
No worries. If you're doing a screen cap and an audio capture, you might be capturing twice. I know.
No. Well, not to say that I've been doing it for a while, but I'm screen grabbing desktop audio and only the mic in through OBS, so it usually doesn't echo.
Oh, okay. No worries.
So I'm blaming you because I haven't touched a goddamn thing. But in seriousness, I don't hear any echo here. Right. He says still a small echo.
I'm not sure, man. I've just got one sent over.
Right, now hold on. How's about now?
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2. No echo on my side. It says the messenger reveals.
Yeah, I don't know. Right.
Okay.
We're just going to ignore it because there's not a goddamn thing we can do, and fuck it.
Okay. But Jamie was filling all the space he could, and I had the worst stutter and a really, really nervous, high-pitched laugh. And we went on air, and there were no calls. And when we finally did get, it was just we were hammering at each other to try and eat up the caller. We were two little Matt Dillahunty clones at first. But over time, we kind of chilled out. We got comfortable, and we loosened up and became ourselves. But yeah, those first episodes, man, those are cringy.
Yeah, the first, like when you go out on your own at the start, or start actually, well, not that I've put my face out there, but even just putting your voice out there and doing that, it really does, it sure scares the bejesus out of you for the first wee while. To be a wee bit Irish there, scares the bejesus out of you. It does take that practice and that getting used to. And as you say, you will find your groove. You'll get used to it, and you eventually will talk more and more relaxed, if you know what I mean.
Oh, for sure.
The intro that you made, did you make that on the fly?
So I picked up a template online and I filled in all my own stuff and I found a free song. Or are you talking about Talk Heathen?
Talk Heathen. That intro that you have for Talk Heathen. Did you
Oh,
filmed that before? Like, I didn't watch Talk Heathen from the start, and I've never went so back and far as watched your first episode. But when did the intro come after the first episode, or was the intro for the episode?
no, the intro came afterward. It was, I don't know, 2 or 3 episodes in. I remember I was, okay, let's see. I used to live over an hour outside of Austin, out in the boonies. And I would stay at the ACA really, really late. And I remember I was on my way home, and I think it was around 1 or 2 in the morning. And I called Jimmy up and I woke him up because it hit me. It was like there was this park called Graffiti Park, and I was like, Jamie, we should spray paint Talk Heathen. And if you turn around, there's this huge, just the city sprawls out in front of you. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So I was like, cool, we spray paint it, and then we look at each other, we drop the spray can, turn around, look out on the sunrise over Austin skyline. And so we called a production meeting, and our producer and our audio engineer came, and just so happened to be that Anthony Magnabosco was there as well. So he sat in.
And I was street epistemology guy.
Yeah. He was there, and they're like, well, let's do more. Let's do a car chase. And,
the car chase scene.
yeah, and I'm like, holy crap! Wait, a car chase? I don't. What? No, we're just gonna turn around and it's gonna be pretty. And they're like, no. And then Anthony goes, I have atheist license plates, and our audio engineer Vern, he's like, I've got a convertible. And so we got the atheist mobile put together, and then Anthony also goes, yeah, my son has a drone camera. I'll bring the drone. And that's how we got like the high up shots. Over one weekend, we filmed it mostly on one day. And it was just a fucking blast.
It looked like a lot of fun, man.
It was so much fun.
You met Jamie at the SCA, obviously, because you say you moved to Texas with no friends. Did he start at the bottom, or was he like your boss, or did you just work your way up together? Or
he was just a fellow call screener.
That's what you did. You just screen calls at the start.
Yep. Well, at first they won't even let you do that. I walked in, and I had told Mark, I was like, I'm here now. I want to volunteer. I want to help however I can. And he said, easy. Most people who say they want to help hang out for a couple weeks, and then they're gone. So
they give up.
Yeah. So keep coming by, show you're consistent. And then over time, I'll bring you in. So yeah, I showed I was consistent. And Jamie and I actually took turns with one other guy. There were 3 of us who were call screening. And we just looked forward to our week. And when we weren't call screening, we'd find anything else to do. And it was such a different time, man. The ACA would open for the Atheist Experience, and people were just kind of wandering the Free Thought Library and sit down. And then the show would just come on. And then it would end, and everybody would just kind of wander out. And so I kind of started greeting people on the way in and talking, I'd learned, the history of the building and the history of the ACA. And so I'd answer questions. And then before you knew it, I was kind of turning into this like pre-show where.
And here we have on your left.
Well, yeah. So I can give you a little snippet of what I used to say.
Go, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say, welcome to the atheist community of Austin, and get everybody else excited. And I say, home of the atheist experience. This week we have this and this. And then I'd go through the rules. There's no God in the sky to punish you, but we will collectively shame you if your cell phone goes off during the show. Please silence or mute your cell phones. If you take any pictures, that's fantastic. But if your picture has somebody else in it, make sure you talk to them, check with them, and make sure that they're okay with that picture being posted, because we don't want to inadvertently out someone to friends or family if they don't want to be. Just those kinds of things. And that's kind of what paved the way at the beginning to things growing, was just taking on and doing more and different stuff.
Showing that you were trustworthy and that you would not being an ass and smacking people in the back of the head, you'd politely ask them to sit down and not make noise.
Well, I mean, they are encouraged to make noise. We had the audience mic. I'd point at the audience mic. I'd say, it's gated. So after a certain volume, it will go out on the air and we cannot stop it. So please do not shout out your social security number or credit card information. If you would like to share that, you can come and see us after the show. We'd be happy to write that. That kind of stuff. But yeah, it was good. It was a good time.
How many episodes have you done so far now?
I have no idea.
It must be in the hundreds. It has to be in the hundreds.
Oh yeah. We hit 100 episodes a few months ago.
Well then, yeah, say 6 months ago, 1 episode a week, 4 6s, roughing it all out, 24. You're probably in around 130-ish. 135 probably.
Maybe if it was about 4 months ago, yeah, maybe around 120, somewhere. A lot of hours on the internet, my friend.
How many? It's an episode usually an hour and a half. That's what you aim for, isn't it? My producer is talking to me in the ear, and if I don't round up this call in the next 5 minutes, the love rings will never appear again.
Well, so for the home studio, I got a lot of the stuff that I'm comfortable with and familiar with from the ACA, and one of those is these guys. And so I know they're invisible and they're supposed to be invisible. But yeah, no, they are in our ear. And originally it was going to be an hour, and then we kept going along, and I was getting really frustrated with it because I wanted to be consistent. And so we wound up moving it to an hour and a half. And now it's supposed to be from 1 until 2:30, but we've been running it for about 2 hours every week almost.
Yeah. It's hard to put a time limit on a conversation.
It is, and you don't want it to stop. Once you're up and going, you're in front of everybody, and you're excited, and you're sharing, and you're in this conversation, and you're just engaging. You look at the time, and half the episode's gone, and you're still on the same call.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy crap, I still have 5 more lines that are waiting. And you feel bad, and you look at the comments, and people are saying, how come you spent, half an hour on the same caller, 45 minutes on the same caller? Because I got totally into it. I just lost track of time.
Yeah, there's no clock. I have deliberately put the clock where I cannot read it from sitting at the computer table.
I had to be the other way around. I've got to time my stuff for pacing, because if nobody has their eye on the pacing, it's going to stretch out, and the show will not be as interesting or fun to listen to.
Yeah, but so. I do find it very difficult in after parties and stuff, especially when we have a big guest, which will probably bloody happen tonight, and you have 6 slots on StreamYards and 10 people, and it's like, who do I kick? Who wants to take the sword? Now, we do have a few in the crowd that would be on the streams that are very friendly and very nice, and Sammy usually takes the sword because he's in Australia and his time means he's listening from working in the car or something, so he'll drop out, or with a few other people that would always take the sword. So we're lucky like that, but it does be very difficult to end a conversation, or to get rid of someone, to move on to the next one, because you're like, I could have kept going there. There was a gem that you fucking made me just walk away from that was so just about
every fucking time. But also, we have other shows that we're trying to get attention to at the ACA, and so they get that slot between Talk Heathen and the Atheist Experience.
Yeah.
And so they've been plugging Atheist Vanguard at that 3 o'clock slot. And so when we get close, they're like, we've got to do Atheist Vanguard at 3. If you don't say we're going to do Atheist Vanguard at 3. And so we go all the way up until the wire sometimes.
I don't know if you know, we've got one person in the chat called God Hates Us All, and then we've got another person in the chat called God the Good One. I know God the Good One a wee bit better, but I have a fair idea who, I've had the chats with God Hates Us All. And both very, very good people, but that's an interesting combo to have in the chat.
No, I see Kevin H actually did the math, 119 episodes so far.
For me.
Wow. Oh, for you?
Or is that for me? Is that for you?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, sorry, no. It's just I read it wrong because I was skimming. I seen 119 episodes for MathPig, not so far.
Ah, got
I'm
it.
skimming the chat. I do apologize. That was freaking me out. I was like, there's no way I'm at 119.
Let's see. We had a question.
Yeah,
Has Eric
sorry, go on ahead there.
Darth Dawkins yet? Is that DD, Darth Dawkins?
Yes, we've had him on twice here in the MathPig Pigsty.
No.
Yes, I had him on up against my theistic friend Richard, who comes and hangs out on a Thursday. And Richard, if you're in the chat, Richard, if you're not in the chat, Matt, he gave up our Thursday slot so we could do this. You know, we usually hang on a Thursday and we read old biblical scriptures and old stories, and he tries to put his theistic view to what we're reading. We usually try and read something that he's never read before or only read once, because he's only been a theist for 7 years. So yeah, and it's good fun. He's good crack, and just to sum it, he believes that heaven is a spaceship. So every now and again, I scream alien overlords at him, and we banter back and forth, and we've a good rapport, like yourself and Jamie had. You know, it's a good rapport back and forth, and we make fun of each other. We get on with each other. I've referred to the man as my internet stepbrother. So I put him up against him. Darth didn't know what to do. Richard was very, very good and kept Darth on track as best he could. Even at one stage, he laughed at him, which I thought was hilarious. So we got to have Darth back again. I put him up against do you know Randolph? Randolph, the founder of the Canadian Atheists. No, well, Randolph Richardson is part of the wee community we have here. CanadianAtheists.com, I do believe. Someone find it there. One of the mods posted in the chat. He is the founder of Canadian Atheists, so he wanted to go with Darth. He had to go with Darth. Problem with Randolph is he's too goddamn nice. So I had to step in a million times, and Darth basically fucked me off in his own wee way. I then muted him and told him it was my channel, not his channel, and it broke 1,000 views the other day. That's my most watched video on my channel.
Wow.
So for a wee tiny channel, it's been watched twice as many times as I have fucking subscribers.
Well, I mean, Darth Dawkins is a polarizing figure. The very first time he called in, we were not ready. And after that, I remember I went to the university and I sat in with as many people as I could who were much smarter than me, and asked them questions about the kind of stuff that, the problem of induction, and kind of going over it, because I wasn't as well versed. I mean, I don't have a formal education in philosophy or theology.
You wouldn't think it.
No, I'm an autodidact. Actually, so is Matt, if you didn't know that.
I'm not even sure what you mean by that.
He doesn't have a formal education in philosophy.
Oh, someone who just self-studies and self-learns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah, self-taught. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And over time, I really sharpened that and worked on it. And by the time he called the second time, I was ready. And I noticed that he's never called when I was hosting since. So.
Did you know of him before?
No, I did not. No, not the first time. Not the first time. Oh gosh, Talk Heathen was just starting. That was in spring of 2017.
Oh man, you need to look up freaking Tom Rabbit's channel and Loopy LOL and all these recordings of Darth, man. I spent hours listening to Darth before I even engaged. It was just fun to listen to dumpster farce and to see if someone can knock him off his script. And everybody does this, listens for about 2 weeks solid, thoroughly enjoys it, and then has a go at him. See if they can, break the script.
The benefit of my show is, kind of what you wound up doing is you had to pull him aside and go, no, this is my show. You're a guest on it. And that is a privilege,
That's pretty much it. Did the same, yeah. It needs to be done with him. Randolph is just too goddamn nice. He's Canadian. He's too goddamn nice.
the thing is I had the mute button just right there, and so, or I actually I would put them on hold, and so it would be, I'm going to ask you a question, and if you don't answer, I'm going to put you on hold and then ask the question again, and then I'll bring you back. And if you don't answer, then I'm going to put you on hold.
Yeah, you should just watch the question section at the end. That's exactly what I did.
and you just hold him to the same question and watch him blow up. And it was good. It was good. I was so rude for holding him to the same question. I enjoyed it. I'd like him to call back. I think that'd be fun.
We did one question at a time for the questions and answers, from the crowd, from the live chat, and we'd let Randolph answer and then let Darth answer, or vice versa. And Darth would answer, then Randolph would answer, and then Darth would try to go onto the script to stop Randolph and discredit his answer, and I would just have to mute him and go, no, one question, moving on, and then we would go on to the next one. And towards the end, he was absolutely livid. He was screaming. So I muted him. And then me and Randolph were talking. Randolph was saying bye and all the rest of it. And I unmuted Darth to let him come on and say bye. Didn't realize that he'd been muted and was still ranting. So I just muted him again. And I was like, right, well, I brought you on to say bye and say nice things about you. But you're gone. Bye. See you later. No, he won't come back. I've tried. Won't come back.
That's all right. That's the interesting thing about trolls, is they think they have a right to other people's streams and the other people's shows. Now, if you want your own show, you can create your own show. But if you're going to guest on other people's things, then you're there at their pleasure.
See, that is the funny thing as well. The messenger reveals, who was in the live chat, wanted to go at Darth Dawkins. He'd been invited. Darth Dawkins had been inviting him. So I reached out and he would not have him on. And in a chat one night, Darth was lurking and noticed that John had mentioned something about him. So he sent me the link and I then passed it on to John, and they had their conversation on Darth's channel. I think Darth muted him, allowed it to go 15 minutes, and then at the very end claimed victory.
Of course.
Yeah.
Duh.
No moderation, no nothing, no, it was just, yeah.
Let's see here. I see Kevin H. Kevin, are you the person who's been correcting me on the Hitchhiker's Guide? Thank you.
Kevin also makes the background music for all of my, like, if you can't hear it, but there's background music being pumped over OBS, and he makes all of that. This particular track he was working on since like August of last year.
Nice.
Yeah, very good man. We call him Softcore Thor because he looks like Thor, but if he did his hair, and like brushed it and stuff. Yeah.
So Kevin, I have read your comments, and I appreciate it, and you're absolutely right. I was saying that the puddle analogy was in the Hitchhiker's Guide, and it was not.
Oh, sorry. Finish.
Oh, no, go ahead. And the interesting thing is I actually have a Hitchhiker's Guide tattoo, and I didn't realize that I was messing that up. So, yeah.
The moon. Have you went and researched the moon lately? I'm watching it, and I'm screaming at the TV. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I fucked that up. Oh, I fucked that up so hard. I actually fucked that up so bad that Matt was in the audience.
Oh, man, I may have to mute myself. That is fucking hilarious.
You ran over to the half-price books down the street and bought 2 children's books about the moon, both of which said that you only ever see one side of the moon because it's tidally locked. And they're like 3rd grade books, and gave them to me. And I learned my lesson. I actually knew that that's all the comments it was going to be. So I wrote a response immediately after the episode and asked Mark to pin it at the top of the comments, where it's just me going, I know I fucked up the moon comment. Thank you for letting me know. And yes, it is the Salmon of Doubt. Kevin, I appreciate it. I do read the YouTube comments. If it's the first week after Talk Heathen and you wrote a comment, I've read it. And I appreciate it. And I try not to respond because that has wound up very bad for me in the past. But the feedback has been fantastic. let's see here. There was someone else who had
That was a
something.
real good dodge you did in the moon there. You know, you admitted your mistake, you said that you fixed it, and then you went back to the chat. That's not pick on you. No, go on ahead, back to the chat.
Hey,
I just had to get that dig in. I had to get that dig in. Like physics and the moon and the stars and all that there. That's my thing. We've a climate scientist in the chat and all as well. I'm sure was going buck mad while you did this. It's
you know, and
how bad did you feel? Come on, tell us how bad you felt afterwards. Don't just skim over it.
Okay. So, I was on with Jen Aldrich, and she and I were ramping each other up, and you could see it. We were both just kind of off each other's energy. And when that came in, and I just started talking directly out of my ass, and
did she know or did she go with it? Like afterwards, did she come up?
No, she was right there with me. But that was okay. And I look up and I look into the studio audience and I just see a whole crowd of smart people going. And I'm like, I'm trying not to lose my pacing as I'm continuing to dig my grave, and more people are just like, "That's not a thing." And in the chat, the private chat that we have with the people in the back, they're just like, "Eric, that's not a thing. Stop it. That's not true." Oh, yeah, that was rough. That was rough. But you know what? If that's the big fuck up that people remember, then I think I'm doing all right. It's what happens with live shows, and I fucked up. Something really easy. But the best thing you do is you say, "Hey."
Makes you feel any better for the 50 people watching? There's a private joke that maybe only 10 of them know about, but it's that much of a joke. I put it on a mug. It's in the merch store. You know, you can go and buy this now. And I'm doing the house up at the minute, and buying everything, you know, on the cheap as best I can, getting new stuff second hand and all the rest of it, and got like £1,000 new surround for like 150 quid, solid oak and all the rest. You know, I'm real chuffed with it. And as you know yourself, man, there's probably people in the chat here, maybe best name and things like that you know, and Dargendorp and Spooky, that you know these people, you know, and you would have a private conversation, totally off topic from what the channel is about, because they're friends. Yeah. And I sent them a picture of this new fireplace, and the damn thing's that fucking big that my ma had to hold it, and we're doing this all on stream, right? And I'm sending it to them on Twitter. They look at it and go, "Is that the girlfriend?" I'm like, "No, it's not the girlfriend, that's my ma." And then the other person goes, "Why is your ma holding your wood?" And then that just... So there is now a mug that has my icon on one side, and on the other the phrase, "My mum held my wood."
Sir, that is owning it.
Yeah.
That's how you get through it, is you own it. Because when you own it, people can't sit there and throw it at you. You go, "You know what? Yep, I screwed up."
Oh yeah, I hate every one of the very close people that do it and say it all the time, but fuck it.
Yeah.
As a funny story, when we were setting up earlier tonight for that, when Dave was setting up for the quiz earlier tonight, my mother was here actually dropping stuff off, and I introduced her to Dave. And she came over to the mic and she was like, "It was a fireplace, okay? It was a fireplace."
Nice.
Oh, no. It's fun. And as you say, man, it's best to own it.
It is.
At the end of the day, there would be very little that annoys me. People talking about me behind my back rather than having the guts to come to me. That's pretty much about the only thing that annoys me, because I'm a blunt person. And
So that was also thrown up in the live chat as Darth Dawkins had talked a bunch of crap about me. You know, it's a sign that you're growing and succeeding if people are talking about you after you've left the room. You know,
any publicity is good publicity.
Not true at all.
The moon.
True. Lawrence Krauss could definitely tell you that is not the case. Yeah, no, but if people are talking to you after you left, if you made an impact, you made a difference, then you just need you keep going. You get to decide who are the people who impact you, and so you make sure that they're good people you love. Like I can read the comments for shows and read 100 nasty things about me, and I'm just fine. But if it were to come from even one of the trusted people in this chat, it would wreck me.
Just as you say about trusted people in the chat, someone who does not have a YouTube account and who I have never, ever seen comment, just commented in the live chat.
Oh, what do we got here?
Begins with a D, ends with a P.
Darkened. Oh, hello.
I have never seen that account ever, 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 ever.
Really?
No, not on YouTube. Not on YouTube.
You know what? That person in particular is someone that I've had many, many private heart-to-hearts with. Yeah, there's some really... You have an amazing group of viewers. Holy crap. I'm watching some of these and look at what we got. We've got Megan. We've got Best Name Ever.
Well, best name I know. Now, Megan, I think, is first time here tonight, but I do know of Kirsten.
Yeah, we've got Critical Cripple. We've got IQ. Who else do we have in here?
I've got Richard as well. Richard Madsen. I don't know if you know him. That's the guy I was talking about earlier. He's probably gone now.
Okay.
But no, he's just, sorry, you're talking about cool people. He's cool to me. So, yeah. We've got Crazy Catnip's cool as well. And Spooky, don't forget, did we say Spooky?
Spooky, yes. And Mega Dirk, dude. Oh my gosh. So,
yeah, Mega Dirk, Spooky. That may be the Discord we were talking about. That's how I know all these people. Doorknob Head hangs about in there too. Doorknob Head's one of the good people.
So here's something that not very many people know. When we first started Talk Heathen and we wanted to get a logo and an intro and yada 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 before we did the spray paint thing, Spooky put together an intro and logo for Talk Heathen.
Did not.
Yes. And got it to us a few days after we finished filming the original intro. And our producer, he was like, we just put in all this work. Now we're going to use what we just created. And I was heartbroken. Jamie and I fell in love with it. Actually, I've had it on my phone ever since.
Oh. Spooky made that?
Yeah.
That's better than your logo.
That was fucking great, dude. That was fucking great. There was a video, and the video was amazing, and
I am only very, very recently in this last couple of weeks realizing how lucky I have been to fall in with the people that I have fallen in with, and none of this was apparent to me.
P.O. Sorry, never mind. It wasn't Spooky. But go ahead.
Only recently, Spooky was my first mod, man. I made him mod. He was the first mod in my channel, and he didn't even turn up for the first live stream. But he was the first mod I made for this channel. Spooky's my internet granddad. That's how I refer to Spooky. He is my internet granddad. He's even older than God. He says he was in the year above God in school. I have known Spooky since I've joined the community. He was one of the very, very first people, if not in the top 3, that said hello to me and introduced me to that Discord that we've talked about and brought me into that group of people. And unreal support. I haven't been in as much lately because since the channel's come off and I've been doing my thing, and such an amazing group of people. Like Dave was testing tonight and doesn't even really know Dave that well and jumped in case Dave needed anything.
That's what we've got. That's the community I'm talking about. It's incredible. It's incredible what we have. I'm super embarrassed about messing up the mixing PO and Spooky. You're right. But still, it stands. It stands that that's what we're doing. You know, we're there for each other and we're supporting each other and growing each other before anything else. And it was fantastic.
I know it's a cliche phrase, but anything built from the roots up is going to stand. Like, if you spend the time putting in, and especially when it's just a channel. Now I know Talk Heathen's quite different because it's under maybe 13 bosses at one stage. You know, it could be so many people in charge, but when you're having your own channel, which you have now, gives you the ability to do what you want. And if you start off at the base, at the ground, with a good source of people around you, you're landed.
Oh, it's a good thing that it's not about deserving, you know, support, because I've got way more kind people in my life supporting me than anyone deserves. It's fantastic. And that takes you right back to the I'm sorry. It's the imposter syndrome, you know?
Yeah.
Because you look out and you see all these incredible people and they're giving you their time and they're giving you their expertise and they're helping you and supporting. And you're like, how did I get this lucky? How did this happen? You know, it's an amazing world. It really is.
As I said to you before we come on stream, Dargendorp is, you know, he built this computer that made me be able to have this channel. You know, him and Magadirk joined to laugh at me, basically. That's why we had a video conversation, and Magadirk came in basically to watch me fuck up, and ended up helping along, and through a camera system and a laptop with a picture-friendly setup of my motherboard, we built this computer and it fired up first time. And he then left me alone for a week to play with my new toy, and I put so much malware on it and downloading, right? Now, not porn or anything. I downloaded loads of games. I wanted a game and this, that, and the other, and a load of other stuff, man, right? And he came on, I gave him TeamViewer access, and he spent longer fixing my computer and setting it up. There's a folder in my desktop that's just for him, for programs that he uses. Doesn't need it so much now because I've learned. But he came in and spent longer cleaning up my computer than it took to build it. I went and watched fucking Stargate for a while. Let the computer run in the background. He did that for me. You know, so lucky to have these people in our community.
We really are. We really, really are. You know, it's funny you're talking about having... I'm sorry, the gin just kicked me right in the face.
Good. Go on ahead.
Really?
Yeah, no, because as soon as it kicked you, it actually went up a number as well. So.
Oh my gosh. Ooh, yeah.
We should do. Yeah, we'll do what we did in Jimmy's. You have to take a shot for every subscriber you get.
All the way up until you get to 500. You're at 491.
491, right? If we can get 9 subscribers, there's 46 people watching. There's bound to be. Couldn't be everybody subscribed.
Well, here's what we'll do. If you get to 500 subscribers, I'll stay on stream for another hour and drink the entire time. How about that?
Well, I was hoping you would do that anyway.
Shh.
Man, anyone who comes here knows I have an after party for every show, basically. Because shows, you usually set up a set. You usually set up this, that, and the other. And you aim for an hour and a half, as you discussed earlier with Watch and Talk Heathen. You know, that you have a set time, but you want to just keep going and having the crack with your friends sometimes. Especially because with a lot of the things that we do is hangouts.
Yeah.
You know, and we jump between each other's channels, like you seen with Dave's earlier. And, you know, there's Purple Rhymes with Orange in the community who has arranged, I think now, 3 24-hour streams to raise money for people.
Wow.
And they literally just jump between channel to channel to channel, and some people go to sleep, then they come back on again. And no, so lucky, just the whole community here, and yeah, very lucky. I don't know. Yeah, I'm rambling now. I'm all loved up. I'm all loved up.
It's true, man. It's true. That's what it does to you, and it's addicting. You know. By the way, you're at 494 subscribers now.
Stop looking at it. In all honesty, it would be...
subscribers.
Why are my alerts not working? There we go.
We're 3 away. Now we need to put a time limit on it. All right, in the next 8 minutes, our hour will be done.
Yes.
Eric can't hold his liquor. You have no idea what a heavy hand I have, Spooky Bad Hair. I do not need your judgment.
I can hold my liquor, which is the problem, man.
I normally can. But I don't know. I'm just having fun. I just saw the delivery truck. I'm really excited. I got what is that? Trial by Trolley. Have you heard of Trial by Trolley?
No.
Dude, it's the trolley problem. Someone turned the trolley problem into a game.
Oh. They did not, the trolley problem being one side and this and one side and the other.
Yeah, so you're sitting on a trolley and you have
kill
control.
a baby, kill 5 people. It's that one.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And so you're constantly trying to get somebody to run over the other person's lane instead of your own. And I was waiting for it, and I didn't think it was ever going to come, especially with all this COVID-19 stuff. But I got a message today; it's coming tonight, so I might just share that at the after party.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway,
what else do you want? We are getting close to that hour. So if there is any questions from the chat, have we anybody?
You cracked 500, MathPig. Congratulations on 500 subscribers.
Thank you very much, Eric.
Ha!
No, I know it's the people out there that's doing it, unless you're sitting with a lot of soccer accounts open. But, thank you for being here and bringing them people. They wouldn't have been here otherwise. As I used to say at the start, now I don't want to sound disingenuous or anything like this here now, but like someone said to me when I had something like 107 subscribers, and I was like, no, the first 40 or 50 came from sub Christian Hangouts because I wanted to build a base, and then the rest of them are just friends that feel sorry for me. That's all it is. Like,
good time, man. Give it time.
I really appreciate anyone who watches. I really do. It cracks me up sometimes. My woman just sees the exact same all the time. She thinks we're all fucking mad, but I really appreciate anyone who does take the time to come back and watch. I really do.
There was a question earlier where somebody had asked, if you're a brand new YouTuber, do you have any advice? The advice is do what MathPig is doing. Keep putting out content. Keep being consistent. And follow that, be your authentic self and just keep being consistent. And over time, you're going to refine. Over time, people will find you and that will grow and you will build a community. But be patient, be consistent. Great is the enemy of good. That's what killed my podcast. If you only want to have the best out there and you're not willing to show the blemishes, it's going to prevent you and you're going to come to a grinding halt. Keep putting stuff out, and you're doing that, man. You're putting in the work, and that is how you grow, as you put in the fucking work.
Yeah, well, I do 3 days a week. I do Sundays, I do Tuesdays, I do Thursdays with Richard. I'm booked up to the end of April, and last time I checked, I'm something like 200,000. No, I'm well over 300. I'm well over the 3,000 hours.
Dig it, man.
So it's just getting there, man. But all of that's just playing with YouTube. At the end, I'm here to just the opportunity that I have got to talk to you is amazing, because 6 months ago I'm watching you on the TV, literally screencasting to the TV. You're 42 inches wide on the TV. And I'm sitting there with the phone or the computer open, and I'm thinking about calling in. I've got stories, and you're saying something poignant to me, and I'm, nope, shit myself, not a fucking hope in hell. Couldn't do that, couldn't do it. And the fact that...
And here you are.
And we're here now.
I've been looking forward to this. After talking to you and hopping into your stream last time, I've been looking forward to hopping on you today.
You're only saying that because I screamed like a schoolgirl for the first 5 minutes. I was at least a bottle and a half deep when you jumped on.
It's not just I took a month off. I took a month off because I needed to take a month off for mental health, for my own stuff, and just coming back and being around community, being around the reason why I'm here, the reason I love this, the reason I want to keep doing this. It's inspiring, it's exciting, it gets me energetic, it gets me wanting to do more, and putting stuff back out there. You know, you're fueling me, man. You know, we're doing that for each other.
I'm very selfish. I get a high off helping people and doing this. I enjoy talking as well.
Definitely.
My woman calls it verbal diarrhea. It's verbal diarrhea, she calls it. So, Eric Murphy's channel links, his Twitter links, Talk Heathens link, all in the description. All my bits and bobs are in the description. You can see we've got some good guests coming up. We've got Mark Sargent on Sunday, the Flat Earther. And then we've got Conspiracy Cats on Tuesday, the Flat Earth Debunker. Aaron Ra should be coming some date in April. So it should all be going well. It's all looking good. Do come back. Do, appreciate fucking 500 subs. Thank you, Eric.
I didn't do it.
You did do it. You did do it. We'll literally be back in about 5 minutes. I'm sure all the mods are doing their mod bits and posting the link numerous times to the after party, which I haven't scheduled.
Ooh.
Because I'm an agent.
You're good, my man. You're good.
See, this is what live production does.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude. Okay. Yeah. Here's a. We're still live, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You are probably so much further ahead of me when it comes to being able to actually do your own show. It's insane. I'm the most spoiled brat you're ever going to meet when it comes to putting on shows, because my very first episode of my very first show, I had a producer, an audio engineer, a call screener, a full studio, and a live studio audience.
No.
And I never had to do a damn thing.
I have at least 5 videos private listed on my channel that only the Patreons can see, and a lot of them are called Go Fuck Yourself OBS. Have you fucked yourself today, OBS? Fuck you, OBS.
But you're learning, you're putting in the work, and that's what it is putting in the effort. And I'm just now, so much later.
Well, how long's your channel going? Your own personal channel, doing this own production? I've been playing with it since June of last year, man. June of last year. And I didn't produce any content until at least October. And I had to spend $1,000 on a new setup before I could do that.
Yeah, it came with a lot. The tiles behind me, this microphone. If people are tech, our audio heads.
That's a good mic you have in front of you.
An SM7B. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is.
The camera that I'm using talking to you on. Yeah. It adds up. It adds up. But
my mic I paid £45 for off Amazon, including the stand and everything. I hope I sound okay. Right, look, we're going to end. We're going to slobber on. We will go to the after party. It's been scheduled. Dave is doing his mod thing, I'm sure. I can't see the fucking live chat. Has he posted the link yet? I wonder if Dave's posted the link. Bill's posted the link. There you go. Bill's posted the link. Everybody, we will see you over there in 5 minutes. I'm going to go do the dog thing. Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know. Eric needs to pee. We're not going to talk about his bowel movements. Right. Everybody, I really appreciate you coming. Thanks so much for Eric. And we'll see you all at the after party.
Absolutely.